The 2025 Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix was concluded today around the Imola circuit in Italy. So let's dive in, guys. Let's have a look at the 5 things that we learned, the 5 main highlights from this weekend's Formula One race. And we can't start anywhere other than talking about Max Verstappen. What a race from the Flying Dutchman. You know, it was looking as though McLaren would be absolutely clear in both the Drivers' and the Constructors' Championship. But Verstappen, again, maybe those upgrades are really working for Red Bull around Imola. I don't know, but somehow Verstappen has taken a 30-second deficit into what almost could have been a 30-second advantage had, of course, that late safety car not come out. He was absolutely miles clear in this one. He actually got a poor start relatively. He was pretty slow off the line, especially compared to Oscar Piastri, but he broke so late into the Tamburello chicane. I was convinced he was going to fly off the road. It didn't seem possible, but he kept it on the road and he kept it clean. It was a very gritty, determined move, but my goodness me, what an overtake. That is the mark of a champion. That is the mark of an overtaking master right there. And from there as well, he never looked back. He was genuinely faster than Oscar Piastri. You know, it wasn't a case like it was 12 months ago where Lando Norris was clearly the faster driver but couldn't get past. Piastri was not the faster driver. That was Max Verstappen. Unbelievable stuff from him, really. He really did show his quality today. And again, I mean, he was always in that conversation for the championship, but he's really inserted himself a little bit more of that. He kept cool at the safety car restart as well, built up a big gap there with Lando Norris trying to chase him down. You know, really superb drive. Honestly, seriously impressed me today. I did not expect Verstappen to win this race. I thought he was going to be 3rd place, comfortably behind the McLarens, like has been the case in quite a few races this season. But, you know, he took the lead at the first corner and he kept it throughout the race. He never looked back. Absolutely quality. The second thing we learned is that, yeah, it was a good day for McLaren in the Constructors' Championship. They get a bit of an advantage to Red Bull and Mercedes. Behind Mercedes, a really poor day overall. I'll talk about them soon. But could they have got more? Could this have been a victory for them? Well, to be honest, I don't know. I don't think so. I think maybe if they were 1 and 2 going into the first corner, maybe then I think Verstappen would have struggled to get past, but you don't know because we saw a lot of overtaking today. There was a lot of passing today, you know, around a track that a lot of people say that you can't overtake around Imola. We saw loads of passing. So, you know, on the balance of things, given the overall pace of the cars out there, I would say that Max Verstappen was the quickest, and I think he would have won anyway. But as it was, McLaren were 2nd and 3rd. Piastri was 2nd for the majority of the race, but late on, Norris made a pit stop before the safety car restart. Piastri chose not to do a pit stop before that, so therefore they ended up swapping positions there at that point. And it wasn't team orders or anything. There were no team orders in there. Norris did it on pure pace. Some people saying that they perhaps should have used team orders. I've done another video going more in depth at that. That'll be out at a similar time to this one, or maybe soon after as well. But yeah, overall, McLaren, to be honest, I genuinely think this is as good as they could have got. I don't think they could have won today. I think it would have been really tough for them to keep Verstappen behind, but who knows? Anyway, a much better Sunday than it was a Saturday for Ferrari. They were hopeless yesterday in qualifying, both of them out in Q2, unable to make the top 10, 11th and 12th for Charles Leclerc and Sir Lewis Hamilton, but they absolutely recovered magnificently today. Yeah, there was some good fortune with the safety cars and the virtual safety cars in there, but P4 for Hamilton chasing down Oscar Piastri in the closing stages. Unreal. The pace from them was absolutely electric. Charles Leclerc got a little unlucky towards the end. He was one of the guys who didn't stop like Piastri, and his pace wasn't quite on the same level. But P6 from starting outside the points, again, around a track where you're not meant to be able to overtake, unbelievable, fantastic for them. That will appease the Tifosi. It's not where they want to be, but it's closer to where they want to be. And honestly, that was a lot better than I was expecting from them. I really thought they were going to struggle to get points. I mean, Hamilton was behind Kimi Antonelli, who, of course, retired during this one. Really unlucky retirement for him, mechanical failure. But, you know, even at that point, it was looking like, well, maybe he's going to get about 8th, 7th, maybe, if he's lucky. But, yeah, in the closing stages, that car came alive. But alive. Let's talk about something that is just really losing hope at this point. Let's just talk about Aston Martin. I mean, I don't want to call the car a dead horse, but it's dying, it's sick, it's not very well. Oh, my goodness me. So, for those that didn't see qualifying, Fernando Alonso was in 5th, an incredible effort by him. Somehow, the medium tyres were better over one lap than the softs, but then in the race the mediums were actually pretty useless for a lot of drivers. A lot of them had to give them up pretty early. But yeah, Fernando Alonso, Aston Martin, I just don't think knew how to do the strategy today. They just couldn't make it work for whatever reason. They were looking pretty good about halfway through the race, but after the virtual safety car restart, it was very much Fernando over at that point. Outside the points, absolutely painful. 7 rounds in, no points for him. Lance Stroll, he was in the points. He was looking pretty good for points today, but he finished outside them as well. So a pointless day in every sense of the word for Aston Martin. And the last thing I want to talk about, George Russell. Oh, another a bad day for him at the office today. Not his fault, though. Apparently, he had some sort of problem on the rear of the car. I think he said the rear axle of the car wasn't acting right or something, so he didn't quite have the stability going through the chicanes, the slow speed corners. So that really would have hampered him. And he did well at the start. He was challenging Oscar Piastri for the lead of the race, and he wasn't very happy about him blocking him in his words. It wasn't blocked in at all. No, he was fine. Nothing wrong with Piastri driving in a straight line towards the first corner. Imagine doing that. But anyway, in all seriousness, Russell just didn't have the pace today in the end. That problem probably costing him quite a bit. Not only in the uncertainty of just the performance of the car, but also probably costing him a bit of tyre wear as well, having to overcorrect and just wears out the rear tyres some more. So it's not what he wanted. He was down in P7 today, the first time he's finished outside of the top 5 in any race this season so far. So yeah, the slim hopes of him kind of putting up a challenge to the McLarens and Max Verstappen in the Drivers' Championship, I feel like that's probably over at this point. Long way still to go, of course, but I just don't see it in the pace of the car. They had a poor weekend this weekend, Mercedes again struggling in the heat. It was hot this weekend at Imola. It was really nice weather, beautiful weather in the north of Italy today, but no amount of sunshine will fix George Russell's struggles there. P7, not a good day for him. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed the race as well. I've done a video going over why I think this race should stay on the calendar for the foreseeable future. I love Imola, and this is a textbook example of what this track can kind of deliver. Alternate strategies, loads of overtaking, great weather. It's just a great track. It's a good feel-good time, really, and the Tifosi are out in force as always. And they were rewarded with quite a good race performance in the circumstances from their 2 men. But yeah, we will see you soon for much more content on the world of Formula 1 just like this, guys. Have a fantastic day wherever you are in the world today, and we'll see you very soon.